Yeah, I mean, I don't know how much you know about the TV truck world, but Frank here is our director, and he's really the driver of the ship.
Hi, Gloria.
Hi, Frank. I'm Emily.
Hi.
Nice meeting you. Yeah.
And I produce the show.
Okay.
But, you know, Frank always has actually the great analogy, which is he's really driving the ship, and I'm kind of a navigator, so I'm kind of trying to pick some storylines and decide where we're going, and keeping Randy and Drew in line, and which is impossible.
That's hard. And keep it flowing, because they're, you know, that says a lot to you guys' skill, because there's not dead air there.
No. If you've got Drew on your side, you're lucky. Yeah. There's never any dead air.
Yeah.
He's one of the best.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that's truly like where the great announcers really separate themselves.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's not that hard for a mediocre announcer to do a great game. Drew can make a kind of mediocre game be exciting, and so and Randy does as well. I'm not to get it away, but the color analyst really has his job to fill those air gaps, right?
Right. Well, and to offer the honest criticism, and you know that I look, you know, it's like when I'm in the stands, and sometimes people do this all over the place. I'm sure you know this, that people will like either tweet or send an email at home saying, "What did the guys just say about what just happened on the ice?"
Right.
Because we don't have access to that unless we're listening, you know, on there. So how long have you been doing this as a producer?
This is my 5th season with this particular show.
Okay. So do all of you guys work for the Sharks?
Yeah.
Or?
I'm not. Mostly in the TV world, it's as Rad, you can understand this. We're mostly freelancers.
Yeah.
And some of us are what we like to call permalancers, where you're working with one client. You know, I work with Comcast Sportsnet.
Okay.
90 to 95% of my work.
Okay.
Frank here is the director of broadcasting for the San Jose Sharks. He does work for the Sharks.
Okay.
How many years have you been with the Sharks?
15 years, almost 15 years.
Okay.
So
a newbie, huh?
Frank is a legend in the business.
Yeah, right.
Well, and Frank, Gloria's with the Chronicle SF game, and she's doing a behind the scenes.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's way cool.
Yeah. And then I'm going to link you guys up on some other websites, one in Southern California and a national hockey one, a gay hockey one. But, you know, they got us running at the top of their page right now
Cool.
from Pride Night the other night. And then we're following it up with this story.
Damn.
Yeah. Yeah, they were very excited when they heard that you were giving us this opportunity. So they're like, "Oh yeah, would you write something for us?" And my friend down in LA today was saying the same thing. "Oh, we put it on my site."
Great. Love it.
Yeah, okay. And then Glenn Burke, what a masterpiece.
Well, it's very kind you say that. It's a crazy story.
Is it?
Yeah. And, I mean, obviously we had most of the story in the film, and there's more even that we couldn't even get in the film. That's one of the most interesting stories I've ever. It is. I mean, hands down, the most interesting story I've ever.
Is that an all-timer? I think it is.
So.
And it was interesting because it was complicated in the way that he was in pro baseball and then got out of pro baseball, or because he's gay, he had AIDS, he's dying of AIDS, his family's taking care of him, but nobody knows.
It was crazy. And truthfully, it was the only story that I've ever done that we didn't know the story. Usually, like if we're doing say I'm doing a documentary on Barry Bonds, we all know what the story is.
Yeah.
You're just trying to kind of, and same thing with you. If you're working on a story, you're not going to come out here and discover anything. You're kind of trying to like detail it, and you kind of have a good idea. Like the Burke story, we interviewed people in the film that were asking us what other people were saying because they had nobody knew what the whole story was. So it was this really cool thing where you'd interview Dusty Baker. Yeah. And Dusty would tell you the stuff, and you'd be like, and you go talk to somebody else, and they'd be like, "What did Dusty say?" Because not everybody was talking about it.
Yeah.
And like his family, the coaches, the players, everyone knew a different part of it, and it had never been all put together. So that was what was really interesting. People, everyone we interviewed wanted to know what we knew, which was really interesting. And we were very much saying we don't know anything. We are just documenting. Here's what so-and-so said, here's what so-and-so said. So.
Which is, kind of, it's an interesting juxtaposition now. So you have, you can play in its early stages, trying to kind of break through that wall of the compartmentalizing that Glenn Burke had to live with.
Yep.
And you guys going back and tracking that and putting his whole story together in an honest, but compassionate way. you know, I mean, and then having the panel. So did you guys put the panel together then too?
Yep. A little biased, but I mean, it's the hardest game to do from our perspective because of the speed.
Yeah.
There are no designated whistles, and then in my world, which I'm having to figure out where to put in promos, how and when to tell stories. You know, you don't have the pitching change. You don't have the balls pitched. You don't have that. In football, you have every down. I mean, there are stoppages in play. In hockey, you don't know when the stoppage in play is coming. So, we always talk about live TV just being this big symphony. So, especially the three of us here, and Darren, and our audio guy.
Yeah.
Darren is our graphics producer. I think we spoke.
Yes.
I mean, we have got to be,
Mr. Sharkstats.
we've got, a million stories we're trying to tell.
Yeah.
And we're trying to tell them at the appropriate time. So it's, Darren is constantly, you just mentioned me. Pavelski's 2 points away from, 2 points away from what tonight? 300. So he's going to be sitting there waiting for Joe to get that tonight. He's going to have that ready graphically. I may have a package of Pavelski goals. But, in the next minute, something completely different may happen. Ryan Club may get hit in the head with a puck again. We want to have that video of him getting hit in the last game. And you don't know when it's coming.
So, do you sit on all those clips? Like, those are all sitting right here?
Yeah.
What I've got there for today.
Yeah. Oh, that's
And tell me how early in the day you start on this.
Thank you. This is Mike Rosenthal.
Hi,
I'm
Mike.
Rosie.
Nice to meet
And,
you.
Hi, Rosie.
he ADs and produces a lot of our shows, so he's a guy that knows a lot about all of the sports of area. But so as far as when we're going to start thinking about the show, it happens from the second the last show ends.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm already working on my Anaheim show in 2 days.
Yeah.
So, but really, like I get down here at morning skate. I would have already come up with this list last night, emailed it out to Randy and Drew, Darren. This is what I'm thinking about for tomorrow. Here are the storylines I'm thinking about. Obviously, we've got tonight we've got Jamie McGinn returning,
And the Galardian.
Yeah, so easy. Tonight easy storylines,
Yeah,
right?
hanging fruit on this
Again,
Yeah.
easier night for me. The hard nights are when you're playing Columbus in the middle of February and you have nothing to talk about. You just then you got to work hard. So I come up with this list, and these are all the things we have.
Could I just take a glance?
Yeah,
at
please do.
those?
Help yourself. Yeah. So these are 30 different video packages that we have at that.
So you
Video
punch those, that's your designation of what goes in here?
Exactly. I'll literally say our tape room in the back, and I'll let's say somebody gets. We start talking about Todd McClellan's injury.
Yeah.
Boom! I can say I need 413C in our tape room.
Right.
Okay.
Benji right there in beta pops that up. I say to Frank, we're going to beta on a dead whistle.
Okay.
That whistle we get, puck goes flying out.
Yeah.
Dead whistle. Frank and Simon make it happen. So.
Okay.
Simon's the one running the spaceship there.
Okay. Hi, Simon.
The key to the whole broadcast, really, right? Everything, nothing happens unless Simon makes it happen.
Okay.
So Simon's going to then select that machine, and that package rolls. And I'm in Randy and Drew's ear.
Okay.
Boys, McClellan's injury. And oftentimes I'm saying that before it goes, so Drew always kind of seems like he's calling for, and similar thing happened to Todd, and boom, here it comes.
Yeah.
So
then when he says, could you back it up, boys?
yeah.
So he's talking to you guys.
Well, he's actually Drew's conversation is generally directed at me, especially when he's yelling about something. But in truth, it's in the tape room.
Okay.
So we've got Liz Farkas right here. Liz is our lead editor, if you will, today. Right. So she's kind of the boss of the tape room. But we have 4 different people back there with 8 different record sources. So when Drew's talking to whoever it may be that we're on, right? It depends what camera it's on.
Right.
You say back it up, boys. The irony of that is our best tape operators are women. Don't quote me on that.
I've
We're
never
going to be very offensive. Just, and they're all equally great. But you always back it up.
Yeah.
He's talking to them.
Yeah.
Okay. So when he's got the telestrator circling, that's here too?
Yeah.
That here?
We've got everything here, right? So Simon has one. He's got the telestrator right there. Simon will either have it in or have it out. But Drew, generally, it's always there. He clears it or doesn't clear it.
Okay.
every once in a while, like, you know, Brett Hedigan, we've had working a little bit with us. He's learning the business a little bit.
Right.
You have to be careful about having it in because you may inadvertently get drawn on, or you may not notice that there's something there. But yeah, that's always in. Drew can draw at any point. But it's, I mean, the conversation is continuous between Drew and I.
Yeah.
So not over the air. He's got a button that kills his mic, and he's saying, "Hey, Sean, did you see that? Can you show me that?" And I can.
They're a cough.
Exactly, it's a cough button, right? We always joke that, you know, if the cough button malfunctioned, that Drew would be out of a job. And he'd be the first to say that. In fact, I said, you know, we all got some writers here today. It's like, finally, my story will be told unedited, because his, you know, Drew gets some heat for being overly critical. He gets heat for being too big of a homer. You know, everyone's got an opinion.
Yeah.
The irony when he gets criticized for being overly critical is he doesn't say half the stuff. You know, he's a former coach, and he can dissect.
You know what? The thing that's so annoying to me is that most of the people that are making those criticisms have never laced up skates.
Right.
Yeah.
And, you know, Drew took a hip check from Kyle.
Yeah, we love that one.
So
That
And a
was the
punch
best.
from Scott Parker.
yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah.
right. So
I was producing Shark Bite at the time. I was standing right there.
He's earned, you know, the right to have some opinions.
And being one of the original coaches of the Sharks.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's been
knows.
fired, so, you know, come on.
So he's earned that right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's earned his stripes.
Now, just curious, do you catalog these each and every like little segment? How do you know where to go to? I've
Where
always
these
wondered. Yeah. Does that automatically catalog, or do you actually
doesn't.
have
So
someone look through the video and go, "This is where this happens in this"?
When we go back within the game, we save all these highlights and we label them.
Right.
Whether it's Joe Thornton goal, and we have 6
Right.
different angles of it. And each day, like these ones in bold, are things we built today. So when it's goals versus against, we build that, and then we save that 20-second clip,
Yeah.
and it's all archived. So
Okay.
the next game, if we want that, we just search for the Winnick goals last game and
Yeah.
pull it in, and we assign them numbers each day specifically
Right.
because each truck is different, whatever.
Yeah.
But they're all on a hard drive.
Right.
You know, we've got, and I travel with 8 2-terabyte drives
Right.
of footage.
Oh, yeah, you
Plus
get a lot.
everything's backed up on. So we have these kind of called
Yeah.
XD cam discs. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
I have everything backed up on that. So we have footage everywhere. And, you know, truthfully, like, Rosie is one of the best guys of, like,
Yeah.
keeping track
I archive it.
of archive. Yeah, he archives everything. He knows where.
Yeah.
You know, you need to know about any Bay Area footage and beyond of any of our teams. Rosie, like, knows the footage, could tell you where to get it. And he's got great records of it. His mind works very
So
well.
how long have you been doing this then?
Well, I don't work this show that often anymore, so this is the one show that Sean's the total genius. But I've been doing the A's and Warriors video this since like 95, 96. I was on the show longer just doing graphics before that. On the Giants, I just do all graphics, but it's on those.
But you have that in this hard drive.
I have numerous logs. I type everything up, and I have a database that is pretty much for the Sharks.
Yeah.
Every moment in Sharks history, you know,
Wow.
like
That's
everyone's first
awesome.
goals, you know, everyone's, you know, like today we're doing the McGinn thing.
Right.
I log fights in there. She didn't put it in the package, but I logged it. We got to, you know.
What I, you know,
You put together a package. You got a
So
package.
Sean will have the list, and then if I don't understand it, I'll ask Sean what he wants in it, and then I'll go back to Liz. And Liz, myself, and the other tape operators will find all the footage. And then Liz will build it as the package, the clip. Then I will time the clip, put it on the sheet that Sean showed you, and Sean and I both have those sheets.
Oh wow.
And then my job is to, you know, during the game for Sean, it's like, hey, you know, someone just scored a hat. You know, someone just scored a hat trick. Well, hey, you know, Marlowe's the last Shark to score a hat trick versus Colorado. And he has
Yeah.
right, and exactly during those things.
And then you feed that stuff to Brody too.
The announcers, Sean can talk to the announcers' ears at any time.
Yeah. No, because Brody's sitting right there. So.
Oh, who's Brady?
hi, Brody B.
Well, hello, Brody.